everyone, and welcome to News for Normal People, a channel dedicated to exposing the dangers and hypocrisy of the far-left agenda. Today, we're diving into a critical issue that has impacted all of us, the record of Vice President and Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris. From the border crisis, to rising crime rates in our cities, to her last-minute policy changes, her choices reveal some serious contradictions that need to be discussed. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about illegal immigration. Since becoming vice president almost 4 years ago, Harris has been tasked with handling the surge of migrants at the southern border. But instead of effective leadership, we're seeing a record number of illegal crossings, with over 10 million during her time as border czar. At least 50,000 of those were known criminals. Illegal immigrants with criminal records being allowed to cross our border by the tens of thousands. This is a crisis, and it is a direct result of open border policies and the refusal to uphold the immigration laws already on the books. Let's listen to what Kamala said when she was asked about why she hasn't gone and seen the chaos at the border back in 2021.
And so the question has come up, and you heard it here, and you'll hear it again, I'm sure. It's why not visit the border?
We have to deal with what's happening at the border. There's no question about that. That's not a debatable point. But we have to understand that there's a reason people are arriving at our border, and ask what is that reason, and then identify the problem so we can fix it.
She didn't even try to answer the question. She just said there is a bigger issue, and we all know what that issue is. People are crossing our borders illegally because our current administration has made it so easy to do so. It's not a mystery. Harris often talks about addressing the root causes of illegal immigration. But let's be honest here. Many of the policies she supported as California's Attorney General have made this situation worse. She pushed for more lenient immigration laws, which contributed to the surge we have seen at the border. Harris has introduced legislation that bans state and local officers from taking illegal immigrants into custody. She has made illegal immigration easier. This is not the solution, it's the problem. Let's not forget the impact of this crisis. Increased drug trafficking, human trafficking, and violence. Cartels are exploiting the situation, putting countless lives at risk. The lack of security doesn't just affect our border states, it endangers every American. Over 250,000 Americans have died of fentanyl overdose since 2020. To put that in perspective, just under 3,000 Americans died in the attacks on 9/11. Chinese fentanyl smuggled in through the United States-Mexico border is one of the deadliest attacks we have seen on our country, and it is being allowed to happen under Harris's border policies. It's a disgrace to every American, and it needs to change. Let's discuss safety in our major cities. Under Harris's influence, we've seen crime rates soar. In 2014, as Attorney General, Kamala Harris was one of the leading champions of Prop 47, which eliminated the ability of police and prosecutors to arrest and punish criminals in California for crimes such as theft and drug possession. As a result, property and violent crimes have increased significantly. While she campaigned on criminal justice reform, her policies have left many feeling less safe. Look at cities like Chicago and New York. Homicides have spiked dramatically. The narrative that defunding the police, which Harris supported fully, would lead to safer communities has proven to be a total failure. Instead of making us safer, it has created an environment where crime can thrive. Take Los Angeles as another example. Crime is up over 30% in certain neighborhoods. Residents are scared and they're calling for more police presence. Yet Harris continues to support measures that undermine law enforcement. How can she claim to prioritize public safety when her actions suggest the opposite? The hypocrisy is glaring. While Harris says she wants to tackle crime, she's aligned with those who advocate for dismantling the very systems meant to protect us. Can we really trust someone who supports reduced funding for the police to address this surge in violence? Let's also talk about how Kamala has changed her mind on important policy positions just to appeal to voters. It's crucial to recognize that when leaders change their stance frequently, it raises serious questions about their integrity and commitment to the issues that matter. Let's look at a couple major issues Kamala has changed her mind on this election cycle.
Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office?
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020.
To be frank, the only thing you made clear on the debate stage in 2020 is how rude and incompetent you are. Let's roll the next clip.
Up with education, down, down with deportation. Up with education, down, down with deportation. Up with education, down, down with deportation.
I want to know, when you become president, would you be committing to close immigration detention centers?
Absolutely, on day one. On day one. And here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law.
There, she does a complete 180 on her stance on immigration. Voters deserve consistency and honesty. When a candidate alters their position based on public opinion rather than principles, it can lead to policies that are reactive rather than proactive. This inconsistency can create instability and uncertainty in governance, making it harder to trust the elected officials will truly serve the interests of their constituents. We need leaders who will stand firm on their convictions, not those who will shift their positions just to gain popularity. It's our responsibility as voters to scrutinize these changes and demand accountability. If we continue to elect representatives who do not stand by their promises, we risk undermining the very democracy we strive to uphold. It's time we hold Kamala Harris accountable for the impact of her policies. We need leaders who prioritize the safety of our communities. Please don't take my or anyone else's word for it. Do your own research and form your own opinion. If you're concerned about where our country is headed, don't stay silent. Share this video, hit the subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going. Together, as a free country, we can demand accountability and push for real solutions. Thanks for tuning in. Let's stay informed, engaged, and let's work toward a safer future for all Americans.